All right, welcome back to Work and Wander, where career stories meet dream destinations. I am your host, Jay Cocarulo, along with my wonderful co-host, Jessica Badlam. Jess, how we doing today?
I am doing great, Jay. It's a good little Friday here in the work week, so that's always a positive. How about you?
All right, we're looking towards the weekend. I am doing really, really well as fall continues on. We always ask our guests like, where have you traveled? Where are you traveling? Any upcoming like wander plans you have going on?
Actually, I am really excited. I have two upcoming trips planned. One is a family trip. We're going to go down to Orlando and do Disney. So as a family, so I'm excited about that. We haven't been in a couple of years. I think it's been 3 years. So excited to get back there and do some of the parks and also go to Universal. My son and I like to ride roller coasters together, so excited about that. And
Nice.
then I have a girls trip, which I haven't done
Uh-oh.
many years. I know, trouble, trouble. So my two best friends and I were gonna go take a trip together in November. So very excited about that.
To
How about you?
where?
I was ex inspired by our conversation with Edwin before about New Orleans, and I have never been. One of my other best friends is from there originally, and then the other is living there currently. So they're going to show
Nice.
me what New Orleans is all about. So I'm really
I
pumped about
love
that.
that. I love
Yeah.
that. All right. So there you go. Already the podcast is inspiring future travels for people. So I love that. You asked me, so for the Thanksgiving holiday, me and the family are headed up to the Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg area in Tennessee. So that'll be nice. And hopefully we'll see some leaf colors that we don't get here in Florida and do
Hmm.
some hiking. And then we're actually, we are big ice hockey fans, actually. Crazy enough being in
Yeah.
Florida. And so the Florida Panthers, which are our team, because I grew up in South Florida, we are headed over to Nashville for a night to watch the Panthers play the Nashville
The
Predators
Preds.
in Nashville. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So two of my favorite places, actually. We did a family vacation to the Smokies about 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved it there. But then Nashville is like my favorite city. I love going to Nashville, so I'm a little jealous.
I've never been. So here we go. We both going somewhere new for in the near future. So
Yay!
that's fun.
I love that. I love that. It gets me all excited. But I also get really excited to talk to our guest on our podcast. So today we're joined by Lisbeny Duran, Manager of Learning and Development here at Travel and Leisure. Lisbeny has been here over 4 years and plays a key role in helping our associates grow, develop, and reach their full potential. And we are very excited to dive into her story here today. Lisbeny, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Jessica and Jay. It's so fun to be a part of this really cool initiative. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, we're happy to have you. And we're going to dive right in. And I'd love to start from the beginning. How did your career journey with travel and leisure begin?
My career journey began during the pandemic. I had just
Oh,
graduated from a master's degree uh, in instructional design, and I was like, I am ready to spread my wings and really dive into this particular career. So I was looking very specifically. I was like, I'm not going to be one of those millennials who work outside of their field because I had been doing that for so long. I'm like, I'm ready to jump in. So I was very, very lucky and blessed to find a role in instructional design. At the time, it was Wyndham. 17 days later, we spun to Travel and Leisure. Um, and it was very full circle for me because my father was a housekeeper at a Wyndham hotel when I was growing up. So when I found this
oh.
role, yeah, working in resort operations, helping develop their training, I was like, man, I get to, connect with them in that sense. And my dad moved to this country, didn't speak English, and I was able to help develop some of those training materials from English to Spanish for our friends in the resort world. So that was a really full circle moment. But that was the very start of my career here, and then I got promoted into the L&D manager role about 2 years after that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that it like is family history heritage that that sort of started your path here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I was like, wow. And I told my dad that I was applying. He's like, well, let's see what happens. And it ended up being a really cool experience and something that I'm very lucky to look back on and say is full circle.
Yeah,
Um,
something you guys can share together too in your journey. I love that.
no, that's super fun. So you mentioned that you were promoted to manager in learning development. I know that you've been doing that over 2 years now, so which is awesome. Tell us, like, for those that are wondering, like, what does a manager in learning and development do? What kind of things do you do day to day? What do you enjoy the most? Like, give us some insight and skinny on that.
Sure. So I wanted to make a distinction here. So I work on the corporate L&D side. So we really service, we're based out of our global headquarters in Orlando. So we service the enterprise as a whole. It's a very small but mighty team. So the programs that we help develop, everything from short, self-led, workday courses that anyone can log in and complete, all the way to the longer ones that run several weeks or several months long. Those are handled by our corporate team, and we work on the professional development and education side. However, there are other teams that have dedicated L&D of their own that are housed within that specific team. One that jumps out to me are, for instance, our trainers in the sales and marketing space. Those are trainers for sales and marketing, and we work on the corporate global side. So that's what we work on. And it's again more locate. It's more based on the professional development side versus operational step by step, at least the team that I'm on currently for sure.
Got it. Well, good, because every learning and development team is set up differently, and probably a career path that people don't necessarily think about. But I won't say all, but many large companies have a department dedicated to it, whether it's large or small. But it's important. It's an important thing to help grow and develop. Do you have any thoughts around what you've learned? uh, Helps people grow their careers best, or what kind of things should they think about when thinking about growing their career, and utilizing the things that the learning development team offers?
Do you have another like 60 minutes? Because there's so much to think about when it comes to developing yourself. But the first word that I thought was initiative. It has to start from the associate, right? And I can completely relate to, well, you just don't know what's out there. You don't know what you don't know. But I think if you can find in yourself a passion to grow, the desire to want to develop yourself, standing on this side of that experience as the person who helps facilitate these courses, who helps create this curriculum, it's really easy to identify that, maybe not easy, but over time you pick up a skill and being able to identify the people who see the value in L&D and those who are just there because they were told to join this course, right? Those are different distinctions, and sometimes it's really rewarding to see them cross into the other side, right? For them to be like, oh, I just did this because I was told to, and it ended up being extremely beneficial to me. But all that to say, in my experience on this side of the line, on this side of the classroom, the ones who are super excited for their growth and are open and available, those are the very ones that we see succeed the most. And I think that's the very first step in developing yourself is, do you have the drive? Because from there everything else comes. If you don't want to grow, that's fine and
Hmm.
that's valid. But if you want to learn and grow, then that's when you start finding mentors, and that's when you start, introverted or extroverted, you start finding networking opportunities, and you just start asking questions and asking to be involved. And I think that all is rooted in that very first step of having the initiative and the hunger to want to learn something new.
I think that's incredible insight for sure, and I agree wholeheartedly. And you actually happened to mention mentors. Has there been a mentor or a leader or experience that's really shaped your own approach to growth and leadership?
That's a great question. I have had some formal mentorship via um, travel and leisure, our HR mentorship program. And those are, just a few months to ensure that the commitment is reasonable for everyone. But I would say some informal mentors come from people who have just been very honest with me. I'm not a tough love kind of person. I am just way too, my empathy, if you're looking at Clifton Strengths, my empathy is one of my top five, which means I'm very sensitive and emotional. For better or for worse. I don't see it as a downside. There's positives to that, of course. But a tough love just doesn't work on me. I'm just like, you're being harsh. And there's a difference between being honest and being cruel, right?
Hmm.
But I don't want things to be sugar coated. And I've had leaders who have given me a lot of rope, right? They have been like, I trust you, and until they can't, right? Until they have to rein you in. I've had others whose approach has been to be too hands off and I feel lost in the wind. I've had others who have been very micromanagey, and I would say the leaders that have mentored me and shown me the kind of leader I want to be are the ones who can do both, right? They are very on top of helping you develop and helping you grow, and they balance that with trusting you that they hired the right person for the role, and therefore they're going to give you the space to do what you need to do. I am very lucky that I get to be creative in my role. So
Mhm.
my leader, my current leader, Natalie, she allows me to be creative in the role, and yet I don't feel like she's left me out, and says, okay, you do your own thing. She's there as a listening ear, and she helps me on my personal and professional development side. So I think striking that balance has been inspiring for me, and that's, the kind of leader I would want to be. I want to be there, right there with you to help support you and provide you with resources and really be in the mix, and then know when I need to step back and let you do what I hired you to do.
I love that. I think part of you being you mentioned that empathy that you have probably really is a value that your team, appreciates quite a bit, being able to have that empathy and also the blend of empowerment to know when to jump in, when to kind of pull back a little bit and support from the side. So I love that. And it seems like that creativity is really a fuel for you. And there's a lot of fuel, I think, and exciting things going on with the company right now. So what excites you the most about the future of learning and development at Travel and Leisure?
Thinking very short term, because I love what I do, and I love being able, again, we have leadership from my director or VP and beyond and our partners in the field who really are like, okay, you guys tell, what should we do? What does this look like? And they trust us to be the experts in that arena. But so I'm excited in general. I like what I do. But in the next few months, if you're unaware, which I don't know how somebody can be, our global headquarters is moving from where we currently were last week to the heart of downtown Orlando. So that is a very interesting experience, because we have a program that starts in end of January that I'm leading. And so I've led several programs at this point. You kind of understand the ins and outs and the details, but this is going to be a brand new experience, because something as simple as how do we turn on a computer in the conference room, the new conference room that we've never even looked at, right? What are the spaces looking like, and all of the details and logistics. I think that's going to be, it's a little bit nerve wracking, but my team and I, we've already come together to help support one another through that experience, since myself and another peer are leading those first few programs in our new building. So that's going to be an experience. All I've heard is that the building is beautiful, that the technology is going to be incredible. So I'm really excited to be able to elevate our programs in a building that's fully ours, in a brand new space with the energy of downtown Orlando, and sort of challenge ourselves with the new tech, the new layout, and all of those little intricacies that come with planning a program.
That's awesome. Yes, we are. I mean, as I am the same, that very excited for the move to downtown and to experience this, brand new workspace that we get to continue to grow and thrive in. Um, Speaking of moving, maybe we're gonna say it's a rough transition, but we need to talk about wandering because
Yeah.
this is work and wander. So what kind of travel are you, Lisbeth, when you think about getting ready to take a trip, looking for adventure, culture, relaxation? What drives you?
So I'm not an adventurer. Like, I'm not gonna strap on a parachute. I probably won't be going hiking with you. And I'm not really a type A. I'm more of a type B, or somewhere in between, right? Like, I will have a packing checklist, but sometimes I stray. I have a rough schedule of what I would like to do, but I'm not committed down to the hour, and I'm quite flexible. I can help plan. I would rather not be the only one planning. So it's kind of like a little bit of both. I do want
Hmm.
to say, but I don't want to run the show. As far as the actual travel, culture is big for me. If you take me to a museum, I went to the Met a couple years ago with my cousins, and I'm like, you guys can go. I'm in my zone, and I will read
Nice.
every single description of all the pictures, all the sculpture. So culture matters to me there. I like to see what the locals, do, and relaxation's a big one. So yeah, I would say cultural relaxation are probably top of the list, and then of course just it depends on who you're with. I feel like if you're with the right person, you could travel to the local parking lot at the grocery store and have a good time. So I would say culture for sure, um, the relaxation part, and being with the right people.
Little balance of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
Yeah. So one thing we learned about Jay on a previous episode is that he is a planner when he goes on vacation. So if you need a plan, he can put one together for
I'll
you.
plan. I'll plan for you. You need a spreadsheet of what you're going to do every day. I got
You know,
that.
it's interesting because I don't like to go lost, right? Like I want to know that we're doing something because it helps me plan my schedule. So it's like, okay, this is the one day we're touring. The next day we're just gonna stay in and not even leave the hotel or leave the house. So I like to know those things and like, hey, maybe we can check out these one of four restaurants or, two
Mhm.
of three cultural spots. But I'm not super rigid and I tend to be flexible and sometimes things happen and I'm flexible to that. But I do like to go with a plan. I don't want to just show up blind. So definitely appreciate the planners like Jay who help keep us in line.
There you go.
Same, same, same. Is there a destination that's especially meaningful to you? Like maybe somewhere that surprised you or inspired you in the past?
So many. I probably should travel more, being that I work for a travel company. I mean,
Same.
unless you count like the World Showcase at Disney, Jessica, which you should go when you come down to Orlando in the next few weeks. I really should travel more. But you all talked about the Smokies. I went to Gatlinburg twice, and the first time I went, I want to say it was like 2015 or 2016 with some friends, and that was my first time seeing snow. I was like
Wow.
probably in my late 20s, like, and I had never seen snow before. And this is so stupid. I didn't realize how wet it was. And I know it sounds dumb. Like, I didn't realize how wet and how
It's
cold it
made of
is.
water.
I know, right? So I bought like in Florida in like March. I went like in March. It was really cold. It had snowed there. Where are you gonna find gloves in Florida in March, right? So I was just like, okay, and I bought like whatever pair, and they were fully cotton. And I was like, this is a big mistake. And so I'm thinking like I'm gonna make a snowball. They're extremely painful. They're extremely wet and very cold. So I know it sounds dumb and it's hard to explain to people who were raised in the snow. But that was really meaningful for me, being there with my friends and just I was born in the Caribbean. I live in Florida. Everything is beachy, tropical, sun, and fun. And that was like my first mountain trip. And you're like, man, there's so much to see. And this is just a 10-hour drive from Orlando. But man, there's so much to see out there. And it was really fun to experience vacations in a way that I hadn't yet, which was I'm freezing and we're in the mountains and this is really interesting and there's a fire pit. So it was really different, and I've since gone back. I want to say at least one more time, and I hope to go again. It was really fun.
I will say as a native Floridian as well that I enjoy traveling to things that are different
Hmm.
than
Mhm.
what we experience in Florida, right? I'll sit on the beach
Hmm.
and drink a Mai Tai like it's my job, but also I like those experiences that are things that you don't get in
Yeah.
Florida or in the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
So it's it's great to have those experiences just to be something different, right?
Yeah.
Uh, any experience that you think everyone should try at least once?
Oh.
And maybe it's
So
snow. I don't know.
so I am a resort girly. I'm an all-inclusive resort person. I am from the Dominican Republic, so I've been to a few resorts there, and I've been to a few resorts in Mexico. And what you're receiving at these places is, okay, again, I'm not an adventurer, but I have gone on excursions, right? When I go to these resorts, and they're quite local. I want to stay nearest to the resort in case something happens. I don't want to go venture too far, and I like it being organized by others, but it's the experience of being in that location with the people that work there. I have gone to those resorts. I speak Spanish, so I can connect with the workers, the people that are, my server, the bartender, the people that are at the front desk. So that's always fun. But I really find it to be a vacation for the mind. So if you are a relaxer, if that's your ideal vacation style, going to a resort, you never have to think about how are we going to get to location? How do we travel to the restaurant? What you just wake up, you put a bathing suit on, and you don't take it off again till dinner because you're going to be in the pool at the beach. You can just pop into any little cafe, grab lunch wherever, maybe make a reservation at one of the resorts. And if you're a cruiser and you haven't done an all inclusive, imagine that, but with more comfortable lodgings, right? You have a whole room to
Yeah.
yourself and
I
no
hear.
seasickness. But yeah, I would say anyone who has not done an all inclusive resort, you have to try it. And maybe you'll just take it off your list and be like, I don't like that kind of travel. For me, I loved it, and that is my ideal way to travel for sure.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I've had some really, I think I've taken two all-inclusive trips in the past, and I agree with everything that you're saying. It's just like good peace of mind. You
Yes,
really do get to relax. So,
everything is there. So,
yeah, yeah. Speaking of, if you could hop on a plane tomorrow with
mm,
no responsibilities, where are you going, Lisbeny?
gosh. So I have family in Jersey, and I know it's silly, like, oh, I'd love to go to Jersey. And I do, and I see myself going in the next few months. But if it's like no need to think about work, etc., I'm on day 608 of Italian on Duolingo. So one day I hope to go to Italy. And I remember seeing this TikTok or an Instagram reel of this pasta making party thing that you can do over there, and my
Mhm.
cousins and I have been obsessed with the idea of going to this one day. So yeah, I just, in the US we're such a new country, we don't have ruins, but there's not much history for us to look back on, and it's really mind-blowing. And I'm like, the Colosseum, these ancient ruins from hundreds of or thousands of years ago in Europe, we really don't get that here. So I have in my mind, my heart is set on Italy, and I would love to go. And I know Jay, I'm speaking your language as an Italian.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
look at, yes.
See. See. The I think we should start, Jess, I think we should start a tally when we ask these questions of like, because Italy's come up a few times. There's a few other places that come
Mhm.
up a few times, but we should keep
An
track.
Italy tally.
Yes, and
Not
we
just an
should
Italy
also,
tally, but yeah.
yes, we should also start like a checklist of places that, and follow up with our guests and make sure that they get going on all these
Right.
dream destinations that they have.
Well, I'm on
And
day
we should,
608, so I've been planning this for a while and haven't actually gone and done it. So I probably should get on top of that
let's
soon.
go, Lisbany. It's no
Yeah,
time like the present.
I need to. I need to.
And we should go with you and
Yes.
do podcasts from with
You know what?
Lisbany from Italy.
I would love that. Let me know when that's happening, and I will pack my little type B checklist. I will be there.
Speaking of checklists, we have a quick checklist for you. We're
Okay.
gonna have you dive into our suitcase sprint. So you're like running through the airport, and Jessica's gonna pepper you with questions, and first thing that comes to mind, you have to throw out the answer.
Okay, I'm gonna put
Cool?
myself in that mindset.
All
I'm ready
right.
to. I always get there like 4 hours early, so I'm feeling pretty relaxed.
All right,
You'll
Jessica's
be
gonna.
you'll be rocking and rolling. All right. So, first question, very standard. Window seat or aisle seat?
I've changed. I'm an aisle seat girl. Now I'm an aisle seat girl. I need to be able to
Really?
get up and go to the bathroom and not feel bad. Oh, I can't go. I'm an aisle seat girl. Yep.
Okay. I haven't made that change yet. I'm a window seat all the way still. I love to look out the window, see that view. So, first thing you pack when getting ready for a trip.
First thing I pack when getting ready for a trip. Uh, my goodness. I mean, in order of operations, shoes go at the bottom of the suitcase, right? But emotionally, the first thing I want to pack, or a thing I start planning on packing, is I need as many outfits as possible, because you never know what life is going to throw at you. And I'm like, what if we choose to go to dinner? So I would say I start mentally packing my outfits, physically packing my shoes for for logical purposes.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. All right, beach sunrise or city skyline at night?
Oh, why can't we do both? I'm not a morning person as much as I love the beach, so I'm gonna go with the city skyline, just because we don't really get to see a lot of that here in Florida. So I'll probably get
Mhm.
that one.
All right, what's your go-to vacation playlist vibe? Or is it an awesome podcast like Work and Wander?
I love a true crime podcast, but if it's a vacation, oh gosh, people are sick of hearing me talk about Bad Bunny, but it's gonna be Bad Bunny and his contemporaries. It's gonna be Latin trap, Latin pop, Latin reggaeton. It's gonna be that kind of music for sure. It's just what
It's a
makes
vibe.
me
Yeah.
happy, yeah.
All right.
All right, a travel must-have snack or a drink that you can't live without?
A travel must-have snack. Lemon Oreos. If I
Oh.
can get them somewhere and someone's like, hey, grab some snacks and we can have it, I'm gonna go for a lemon Oreo. And these like sugar-free Walmart brand blueberry lemon or blackberry lemonade packs, I bring those with me and I just throw them in my cup, or if there's like a cocktail, I put that because it's sugar-free so it doesn't hit you too bad. So I travel with a handful of those typically, and it's boring. But that and then a lemon Oreo. I love a lemon Oreo. You should try it if you find some in the store. They're really good.
I have tried them. They are really, really good. But I love lemon flavored like
Me too.
desserts and things. So it works for me. All right. Favorite local food or dish that you've tried while traveling?
I feel like I'm always looking for the perfect noodle dish, like Asian noodle dish, and I've had it twice, and it was once in Montreal and once in San Francisco. And the one in Montreal was a literal hole in the wall. Like, you have to walk in through this dollar store, and then in the back of the store, there's like an entrance to a little restaurant that only takes cash. And we were starving. We had just landed. My friend and I went, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, these are the best." There's a huge Korean population, so it was a Korean dish, and it was absolutely delicious. And then in 2023, I went to San Francisco, and we made it a point to go to their Chinatown area and try noodles. And they were cooled noodles, but they were so good. And I remember taking a picture. I'm like, "These are the noodles of my dream," and I've been trying to replicate it ever since. So if I can get some Asian noodles somewhere from an authentic, Asian community in wherever I'm at, then I would absolutely, that would be my choice every time, for sure.
Yum. I love it. Souvenirs. Are you a collector or a minimalist?
Lately I've tried to be a collector because my friends have given me things and I like to pay them back in kind. So magnets are fun, but I wouldn't say that it's like a requirement. Like, I absolutely have to get something every time, but I like to. If it's nice enough, I will get it. So it's just like my travel, I'm right down the middle, right? I'm not going to plan all the way. I'm not going to be completely free and not make plans. In this case, I could take it or leave it, but I would like a magnet if I can, or like a bottle opener or something like that. So I would say, yeah, 50% of the time, sure.
All right. Then when you come back from a trip, do you
Mhm.
unpack right away or do you live out of your suitcase for a few days?
Oh, how embarrassing. I live out of my suitcase. I live out of my suitcase for a few days, probably certain things for a few weeks that I'm not using all the time. I'm like, where are those shoes? And I'm like, oh, that's right, they're still in the suitcase. So
Guilty. Guilty.
it literally, I'm just stepping over the suitcase for a couple days until I become inspired to put it away.
That just happened in this house.
Oh
Like
my God.
yesterday was a pair of pants that were still in the suitcase. So,
I haven't seen these
See,
in
we're all
months.
guilty.
well, we had traveled to New England, and you need a lot more pants in the fall in New England than you need in Florida. So the pants were not utilized.
Right. It's like your basic stuff, you get it out right away, right? But like that one dress you never wear, or those
Yeah.
shoes you never wear, like, for
Mhm.
sure.
All right. Thank you for doing the suitcase sprint, Lisbeny. That was a lot of fun. Hope you
It
had
was really
fun.
fun, yeah.
Last thing. So, as you are very well aware, the mission at Travel and Leisure is to put the world on vacation, and every story is a reminder of why that matters. So, with that in mind, what advice or perspective would you leave with listeners about finding purpose in your career?
Man, so in my career as it is, it's sometimes hard to connect to the mission. Not that it's hard to connect, you have to really be intentional to connect with the mission of putting the world on vacation. Because I don't have the opportunity to interact with our owners and guests the way a lot of our associates, a grand majority of our associates do. But as it relates to seeing our mission come to life via their growth, I have to remind myself anything I do here, down to getting this individual breakfast because they're a part of my program, or making sure that this training is as uh, precise as possible, or that this session is inspiring, it will eventually trickle down to putting the world on vacation. And I have to remind myself of that. And it doesn't require mental gymnastics, it just requires you to be conscious of what that pipeline looks like, right? If I am intentional to provide a good or great learning experience for someone who is a leader in the field, and they are able to inspire their associates who now are able to provide an even more dedicated, customer obsessed approach to their jobs day to day, and that makes a guest or owner experience better. Yes, it's several steps removed, but that is how I'm able to see us putting the world on vacation, even from a distance, right? So if I can help someone grow, if I can, in the work that I do, help retain the amazing associates that we have and our top talent, and help them grow because they are dedicated and now they're in positions of leadership and they get to spread that example around, that's how I see that come to life. And you don't see it immediately. It's a delayed gratification sort of approach. But it's really rewarding when I get a text message, and it's happened a few times now. I get a text message, hey, I just got promoted to director. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how exciting. You see them grow. And then you're able to say, like, man, this person's going to be an incredible leader. They're going to inspire their teams. I remember the interactions I had with them. They're so driven, they're so dedicated. And I get to have a small say in helping put the world on vacation via whatever impact I had in their career. So that's really fun.
That was a fantastic answer. It's almost like you should do this for a living.
Oh my God. I know. It's like, wow, maybe I should work in L&D.
Yeah, I think you have a future in this
Right? You
career.
think so?
I would second that for sure. But yeah, Lisbeny, thank you so much for joining us on Work and Wander today. We have loved hearing your story and seeing your passion for helping others grow. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep wandering.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jay. This was really fun.